Hey, good to see you again. The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
What's going, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2016 career mode, episode number 12 today for the German Grand Prix. As you can see, we've now got our brand new part upgraded, the drag reduction, the second upgrade we've done to this area of the car. So that will reduce the drag, hopefully help us in a straight line, especially down that back straight. I mentioned that I was considering maybe the downforce upgrade, but I thought it might be more useful for Germany, especially also the next few races we have, which will be Spa. Obviously, it will be quite important to have this drag reduction there in place before, and I just don't know how many points I'll earn in this race weekend to then upgrade for the next race. So hopefully we'll get enough. And in terms of the next upgrade I might do, I'm probably going to be either debating between downforce or maybe even another drag reduction upgrade, or maybe chassis weight. The next engine upgrade's quite expensive, 1,100 points I think that is, so that might have to wait till later on into the career mode season. And I think the next one we'll probably do is going to be downforce or another drag reduction, which could really help us out anyway. So we move on to the story of practice, and practice was really solid. You know, obviously I did the German Grand Prix, the 50% race in the preview build, so I was kind of used to the circuit already a lot more than I was maybe at Baku. Obviously it's not a new circuit, but it's a new one to us for a while. We haven't done it in a while. The last time it was in a Codemasters game was F1 2014. Obviously it was technically in 2015, but you couldn't access it in the modern 2015 cars. So it was the first time doing it in the 2016 cars, but not really the first time, because obviously I did that preview race, which went really well. So I was looking forward to the Grand Prix. We did a perfect track optimization, tire management, and qualifying. So once again, got the maximum amount of points we could have got this weekend for the resource points. So that's really awesome, and that will hopefully help us get another upgrade. So we move swiftly on to the qualifying. Not really much else to say about practice. In Q1, it was a formality to get into Q2, but my very first run, I actually made quite a crucial mistake into the stadium section. Just took a bit too much speed into the right-hander, went to the gravel, spun the car around, but it was fine. I just strapped on another set of super softs, and we got into Q2 easily. And then in Q2, we strapped on the soft set of tyres. So once again, going for that alternate strategy of starting on the second compound available to us. Obviously at Germany, it's super soft, and then medium tyre. So we want to start on the soft tyre, because this will set us up to do a really good 2-stop race versus the 3-stop that you would have to do if you started on the super soft tyres. So pretty tidy through that last sector, and we come across the line, and we do eventually make it into Q2. At this point, no one had set a faster lap time, but eventually they did. But we just managed to squeeze in ahead of our teammate as well, who actually did not make it into Q3, surprisingly, on the super soft. So Jensen, compared to last race in Hungary, where he was looking so strong, and actually stronger than me in qualifying, he just didn't get in for some reason. I don't really know how he didn't get in, but he just didn't. Massa on soft tyres there, unable to make it in. So again, it seems like the rivals, whoever your rival is, they try to copy your strategy in Q2 and Q3. So Massa went on the soft just like I did and didn't manage to get through. And you can see both Mercedes cars also opted for the same strategy as me to go on the soft tyres in Q2. So me and the two Mercedes cars will be starting on the soft tyres and probably trying to do a 2-stop if it is a dry race. I'm hoping so, because I'm sort of getting fed up with the wet weather, to be honest. Even though it is quite a good equalizer, it means that I can kind of match the AI a little bit more in the wet. I'm kind of getting fed up with just having to kind of navigate tricky conditions like that. I'd rather have a dry race to kind of see what the pace of the car is, so I can push as hard as I can in the car. But anyway, you join us now on our Q3 lap. Pretty tidy first sector that was through the first few corners. Now you join us in the third sector. It's been pretty good as well. You can see wrestling the car through, trying to push it to the max here through the final corner down to third briefly, then back up to fourth. We climb through the gears to go across the line. It's going to be third place at the moment, and it's actually going to drop us down to fourth place at the end of qualifying. So a very surprising qualifying, but it means we're able to get up into fourth place ahead of Lewis Hamilton and both Red Bull cars, which is absolutely awesome, because Red Bull are technically the team we're now trying to match. They're fourth in the vehicle comparison chart. If you look back at the beginning of the video, we're fifth, just behind them. So really good that we can beat both of them in qualifying here, and it sets us up for what could be a very tasty Grand Prix for us. And we had a really great race in the preview build on the German Grand Prix, so I'm looking forward to this one. So let's go to the grid for the German Grand Prix, the first time back at Hockenheim in a while. as per usual, we're taking a look at the race strategy ahead of the Grand Prix. You can see in the weather indicator on the top, it's going to start off sunny, as you saw in the cutscenes, and then it's going to get a bit cloudier, but thankfully, looks like no rain. So we're going to do that two-stop we talked about, soft, then go to medium, then another set of soft tyres. Perfect strategy for us, because if we start on the super softs, we'd have to probably definitely do a three-stop, which would have been super soft, and the medium. This way we can avoid the super softs, which wear out quite fast, I think, especially for me, at least, in practice. I don't know about the AI cars, but definitely for me, I couldn't take them very long. So this is going to be the perfect strategy for us, staying off that tyre and being on the soft and the medium. And I think the soft tyre really is probably the better race tyre compared to the super soft. So we go to 5 red lights for the German Grand Prix from 4th place on the grid, dump the clutch, and we're underway. We get a pretty good start compared to Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg's off to a good start, down to turn 1. Will he make it into first place? They go side by side with Kimi Raikkonen. We go down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg's lost a lot of momentum into turn 1 as he tried to fight Kimi, and now we're up into second place. He dives it down the inside though, so he's going to try and fight for second, but he takes the tighter line. We go around the outside for the normal racing line, and we get up into second place, and now we chase down Kimi Raikkonen down the back straight. Lewis Hamilton already on the back of Nico there with the slipstream. Vettel down to 5th, fighting off the 2 Red Bulls now. I think he's actually been overtaken by one of the Red Bulls. Yes, he has. Vettel's down to like 7th now there in the background, so a shocker of a start from Vettel there after going wide at turn 1. But later on into Grand Prix, immediately Hamilton stretches those Mercedes legs, that Mercedes engine in the back of that silver arrow car, and on lap 2 he's here without DRS, just pure slipstream. He's also on the soft tyres, remember, both Mercedes cars doing the same strategy as me effectively in this Grand Prix, but Hamilton obviously is going to have the pace in a straight line. We tried to do a bit of a switchback line here, but embarrassingly it kind of fails a little bit, and I get a lot of oversteer there on the switchback line, didn't get the traction I wanted, so we have to settle down for 3rd place at the moment. And now it's a case of how long can we go into the Grand Prix and hold off Nico Rosberg, the 2nd Mercedes. Well, we cut later on, much later on, to lap 6, on towards lap 7, so 4 laps later, and we're still in 3rd place. What will be now 2nd as Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari pits. He's obviously on super soft tyres, remember. Oh, the only guys on softs up here in the top are the 2 Mercedes, myself, and I think maybe one of the Red Bull cars, I'm not too sure, but both Ferraris on the super soft, so they're going to be pitting early. So Raikkonen already pit there, so we're up into 2nd place at the moment. We cut later on onto lap 8 now. It's time for our pit stop. We're in 1st place as Hamilton made his pit stop earlier, so he's done 1 lap of undercut. We're going to come in on the same lap as his teammate Nico Rosberg behind us, and we'll come in. Massa continues on. Obviously, if you remember, Felipe Massa started in 11th place, so he had a free choice of tyres, so I think he's on the soft tyres as well, going a little bit longer. But also, not just that, the start he made, because he's up there for what will be about for 5th place from 11th on the starting grid. So Massa did an absolute wonder job on lap 1 in the opening laps to get up right up to that position. So we have made our pit stop. We're onto the white wall medium tyres, going quite long this Grand Prix now. We come out just behind Nico Hülkenberg in the Force India in around what will be, I think, 6th place. Let's see as we go into a PRV P7, but hopefully it'll be 6th place soon as we get right on the back of Hülkenberg, get some good traction on these fresh tyres compared to his 9-lap-old mediums, and we get the DRS wide open. You can see with DRS, you know, the McLaren Honda can pass the Mercedes powered Force India there, so looking good. The upgrades are working quite well. Maybe probably at the beginning of the season we would have even struggled with some DRS down that back straight, but now with the 2 engine upgrades we made, the drag reduction upgrades we made, the car is working well. Especially, I think I've really have made the right choice in terms of doing that drag reduction upgrade here at Germany. I don't think the downforce would have actually helped us. We needed that drag reduction through these corners, and now through the 3rd sector, the last corner, really catching up to Palmer here, who's surprisingly right up here in P5, so I'm not too sure if he's going for a really long strategy, but surprising to see him right up here on soft tyres. But the Renault engine obviously down on power, and we've got DRS, nice run through turn 1. This is all but a formality. Down to the 2nd corner, this should be a pretty easy move, and now we're up into, I think this will be 5th place, I think that is, and so now we can just try and chase down the next car, which I believe is Sergio Perez in the Force India. So both Force Indias and the Renault Palmer going well at the moment. You can see now as we move on to lap 11 through turn 2, we're closing up on Perez, but you can see there Rosberg right up my gearbox, closing in within 1 second. He'll have DRS here, so this might have to be a case of defending, not overtaking Perez. And here comes Rosberg gallivanting down on the right hand side, waltzes past us, and he's up into 4th place. But it's not too bad, because I think Rosberg could help us here. If we just tag behind Rosberg, potentially he can overtake Perez and kind of push him wide, maybe just make him go a little bit slower, and we could really use that to our advantage to get past Perez quite easily. And so as we move on to the end of lap 11 through the final corner, you can see Perez holding up Rosberg actually, so we'll get some DRS and tow on the very next part of the lap as Rosberg now makes a move down the inside of turn 1, pushes Perez wide. They both go slowly. We swoop to the right hand side of the circuit, and we're up into 3rd place. 2 moves in the span of a little bit of tarmac in 1 corner as Rosberg and Perez really hold each other up so much. Rosberg pushing Perez wide, and Rosberg also not getting too much momentum through turn 1. So up into 3rd place for now, but we move on 2 laps later to lap 13 now. Vettel sets fast up the Grand Prix, going well behind us on super softs, or maybe softs, I'm guessing, as he's doing the 3-stop strategy. But Rosberg now clears us with DRS on lap 13, and it's all too much of a formality. Behind us, you can see Perez going for a move on a Williams car, as I think the Williams car overtook him previously, and then Perez goes back down the inside. So nice to see there some AI battling, but we're right behind Rosberg still, just trying to keep up with him, but I think it might be a bit too much. That Mercedes car in the end is going to be the faster car. Obviously they're still first place in the vehicle comparison chart. So we move on to lap 18 some laps later, and you can see Rosberg has got away from us by a few seconds there. We've kept Massa at bay though, and kept him really honest, and we're still in 4th place, so it looks like we legitimately have the pace for 4th place right now in this Grand Prix, which is really good. If we look towards the mini-map, there's yellow flags in the stadium section, so I don't know what's gone on there, but as we go through turn 1, the safety car gets called out, DRS disabled, so the safety car comes up here, and this is actually a predicament for us. This actually might not work out for us, because the thing is now, we have to make 1 pit stop, and probably under the safety car if we're being clever, but the thing is, I don't have a set of medium tyres left. We've got too many, how many laps we've got left? We've got 34 laps in the Grand Prix, we're on lap 19, so we have got about, what's that, 14, 15 laps left in the Grand Prix. The soft tyres, it's going to be marginal if they go that long, and we don't have a set of mediums, because I went on balanced for the tyre allocation. So for this race, I had tyres available, 1 set of super softs, 1 set of softs, and then 1 set of mediums. So at the moment, I'm on my one and only set of medium tyres for this race, so I have to go on softs. My engineer, you can see in the bottom right, also recommended soft tyres, but I think my engineer's recommending I make 2 pit stops in this race, 1 right now, and then 1 pit stop for the set of super softs I have left in the end of the race. So I'm coming in for the softs anyway. That's the best strategy we can hope for. So we're pitting under the safety car. Obviously, if you pit under the safety car, you effectively get a free pit stop, because you're going to close up and bunch up anyway. Massa behind us also comes in with us, so it'll be interesting to see what tyres he goes on. But we are in a bit of a predicament, because we need to go very, very long on these soft tyres to make it to the end of the race, or we need to go super fast on them, use the fuel we're going to save up under the safety car, and then pit again for super softs and make this a 3-stop race, which I really didn't want. So that safety car might not be such a blessing that I thought it was going to be at the start here. You can see Massa is actually on super softs behind us, so that's very interesting. So he's going to make probably 1 more stop in the Grand Prix behind us. But we're having a look at a replay now of what happened with the safety car and why the safety car came out. So you can see the manner of, I think this is Haryanto, I think that's Haryanto's helmet. He comes through and he gets a puncher even before he starts braking for this right-hander. He goes very slow, but there's not been any contact right now. You can see the Red Bull and the Williams right behind him. You can see a gaggle of cars right behind them, and you can see Haryanto just going very slowly. And at this point, I'm going through turn 1, and the safety car gets called out. So the FIA being very cautious and calling a safety car, throwing a safety car out for Haryanto with a puncher going slowly in that very tight stadium section. So they're really being very cautious there, but we'll see if it works out to our favour. I guess I'll be thanking them if it does work out. We'll have to see. We're on the restart now. Hamilton is absolutely bolted off P1 there. You can see Raikkonen's down to P2 now, so the safety car's not worked out in his favour, because he was leading this Grand Prix. So Hamilton at the moment leading the German Grand Prix. We're 3rd place, right behind Raikkonen. You can see Rosberg there in 4th, and then it's Massa in 5th place on the super softs, and Hamilton, Raikkonen and Rosberg all on mediums. There are mediums going to the end. I'm on softs, potentially going to the end. We'll have to see. And Massa's on the super softs, definitely not going to the end. So it's all going to get very spicy at the end of this Grand Prix. And we're just going to have to see if our tyre management, the perfect tyre management we had in practice, is going to come to fruition, because we did the tyre management test on the soft tyres. So let's see if I can use that skills to my advantage and try and stretch these tyres to the end. It's going to be a very tight squeeze. But let's see. We're on lap 25 now. You can see setting a purple sector, even though with a bit of oversteer on the exit. And we are within DRS of Kimi Raikkonen, trying to close up on him. Obviously, he's got DRS on Hamilton, and Rosberg behind us also has DRS on me. So we're all kind of bunching up and all kind of getting together with the DRS, apart from Hamilton, obviously, but he's the kind of corkscrew at the very top. Onto the very next lap 26. Immediately, you can see physically, visually, already closing up to Raikkonen there with DRS as well. We're getting closer and closer every single lap here, and Rosberg is doing the same. So me and Rosberg using each other effectively and the DRS to close up on Raikkonen, who looks a little bit slower than Hamilton, to be honest. I don't know if he's going to get this win or not. He looked pretty good at the beginning of the Grand Prix, but not so much now. And we move on to lap 27 now, again within DRS, but you can see so much closer to Raikkonen now. But Rosberg right up my gearbox in the mirrors. You can see he's closing here. Look behind me in a bit of panic, and Rosberg closes up to us. Where we close up to Raikkonen, you can see all 3 of us separated by under a second. You can throw a blanket over us, and we're very close. We can see the gap to Hamilton is extending, so Raikkonen is losing the lead of this Grand Prix and losing the chance to maybe make this 2 wins in a row for him. But we come through towards the Mercedes grandstand, and now we cut on to lap 28, the very next lap, and yet again, very close, this time even closer, and looks like we could make a move potentially down the end of this straight into the hairpin. Here we go with DRS, and we're going to overtake the Ferrari with the new upgraded McLaren Honda engine and DRS down the inside, and we're up into second place of the German Grand Prix so far. Raikkonen now in third, Rosberg unable to make a move. I thought maybe Rosberg would have caught Raikkonen napping there, would have got up to third place, but not the case. But we move on to the next lap, lap 29, and now Raikkonen and Rosberg will be coming back at me. I've got some fuel to burn, so up in rich mix on these straights. But here comes Raikkonen on the right hand side, and Rosberg. He's going to have a look on the left hand side, so we're going to get sandwiched here into the hairpin corner. Raikkonen goes deep, Rosberg goes deep. I should say Raikkonen goes tight actually. We try the switch back. It works on Rosberg, doesn't work on Raikkonen unfortunately. But at this stage of the Grand Prix, we're looking pretty decent at the moment. But I need to start thinking about the tyre wear here and start thinking about maybe just trying to be a bit kinder on my left front. But at the moment, we've also got better things to think about potentially, because Rosberg is looking very dangerous right behind us. He gains so much through that right-hander right up our gearbox. Will he make a move into the stadium section? No, he won't for now, but we really do need to think about two things. So I'm in a bit of a kind of split mindset, because you can see that left front is really wearing out, 42% at the moment, and the tyres could potentially puncture around about 75% to 80%. So I need to think about that. We've got about, 6 laps left in this Grand Prix. That's quite some way to go on softs right now, with 45% wear now through that final corner. Big chunk of tyre wear there, very surprising indeed. And now onto lap 30, you can see Rosberg right behind us in the mirrors. Will he make a move, I wonder? He's so close. Yes, he will. Rosberg goes down the inside of me into the same section. We go side by side, battling away. The Germans are probably screaming their heads off as Rosberg tries to go around the outside to get a podium at his home Grand Prix. And so Rosberg into the next section, through the left and then the right, just gets ahead. We have to give him the room there and have to give up the position for now. But through the final two corners, we still keep up with him. We can see all the while we're trying to fight Rosberg right now. Our tyres are going off. It looks like Raikkonen is definitely out of the question. Second place is out of the question. Looks like we're going to just have to try and fight for third place at the moment. We've only got 4 laps left, 3 laps left to go now in this Grand Prix. We've got DRS. We are definitely going to the end now. So if this tyre pops, if the left front goes and gets a puncture on the last lap of the Grand Prix, I can't do anything about it. We're committed now to the end of this Grand Prix, and we need to try and fight Rosberg now for third place, because we can't get second. Raikkonen's too far away, so can we just try and get a podium in this German Grand Prix? We come, here we go, in the slipstream, and so here we go down the inside of the hairpin, going side by side with Rosberg down the inside, hit the apex, miss it a little bit, but we go wide. Actually allows us to block off Rosberg quite well, and we're back into third place. But yet again, in the same section, the right-hander up towards the stadium section, Rosberg gets a good run. This time he's going to go again down the inside. Yes, he does, but this time we try and break a little bit earlier. Tried the switchback, but you can see Rosberg does really well to block me off there. I definitely broke earlier to try and get that switchback line, but Rosberg did really well to block that off. So we're going to have to wait until the DRS zone, the very next lap, lap 32 now. Once again, getting in the tow, and once again proving this McLaren with a DRS is really actually not that bad compared to a Mercedes without DRS. Down the inside yet again, this time going a lot tighter on the apex, and we get up back into third place. Verstappen behind us taking the fast lap of the Grand Prix. They're having their own battle, the two Red Bulls and Vettel there, I think. But at the moment, we're back in third of this German Grand Prix. Rosberg again having a look around in the mirrors there on the left-hand side, and he's looking very, very good through to the next section. Again, through the right-hander, Rosberg gains a little bit more. Will he go for a move yet again down the inside? This time, I'm going to defend down the inside, so he's going to have to try it around the outside. Yes, he does! Oh, my word. Rosberg goes round the outside of us on the right-hander, side by side to the stadium section. He gets it done before the brake zone, but we tried to come back. He's going to squeeze us out as much as he can, and yet again, we have to leave that position and kind of hang back through these last two corners. But remember, we've done pretty well through the final corner and through the first few corners to get back in the DRS zone, so we just kind of have to be patient here. We've got 2 laps left in this Grand Prix as we move on to lap 33. I really do feel like we could get this podium. We just have to be patient, make sure we make the move when it counts, and then we have to do our best to try and counteract Rosberg through that right turn towards the stadium section, because he's got that 3 times now. He's made that exact same move 3 times, inside or outside, so we really have to work on that. But here we come again, down the back straight with DRS, rich mix also for this straight only on the second last lap of the Grand Prix, for once again trying to get third place. The left tyre is really cooking now and feeling it, but down the inside of Nico Rosberg, cleanly down the inside. Actually, we've nearly completely passed him even before we turn into the corner there. and we're up into 3rd place of the German Grand Prix once more, and we move on now to the last lap of the Grand Prix. We actually got away from Rosberg on that second last lap, but through the final lap now, Rosberg's going to close back up through this right-hander, and where is he going to go this time? We're going to park the car in the middle of the circuit. He darts around, and this time we do keep him behind through the stadium section. The fans are probably not liking the look at this, because Rosberg is looking like he won't be able to get this 3rd place. We come through the final few corners. Lewis Hamilton's won the Grand Prix from Kimi Raikkonen, so Raikkonen does not get his 2nd win in a row there off Hungary, but through the final corner, the left front is absolutely shot, but we're going to come through for an absolutely well-earned, deserved podium position here at the German Grand Prix. But GG Nico Rosberg. Wow, what a fight. What a fight. I admit, I've taken the piss out of him a few episodes of how his AI's acted, but that race, wow, he really did give me a fight and a half there. GG's to him. It really was a very highly contested match there, but we just got the measure of him on the last lap, parked it right in the middle. He could have gone for it, to be fair. There was room, but he just didn't fancy it with his worn tyres, and we worked out, and we managed to take those softs right to the end of the Grand Prix. I'm so happy with that, and so chuffed. I'm very proud of that. To take those softs, what were about maybe 10 laps or so, or 9 laps at least, that was a tall order, because they were only meant to go about 7 laps at the most. And so that is 3rd place. Jenson Button gets 7th as well, with a penalty, I think that was. Yeah, I think he's got a penalty, but he comes home in 7th place. Awesome for him. So a double Mclaren finish. It's not him, it's Sebastian Vettel behind him. So Vettel comes down in 8th with a penalty there. So unfortunate for him, but absolutely amazing for us. 3rd, and then Jenson gets 7th. Double points finish from McLaren. And you can see that Carlos Sainz in a really great 6th place for his Toro Rosso team, just behind the bigger team, Red Bull Racing. Daniel Ricciardo in 5th place. And yet again, Max Verstappen doing quite poorly in this career mode, with only 1 point to show for it. And as you can see here, guys, before anyone has a go at me of why we're fighting a Mercedes car on Legend AI, we did that entire race weekend on Ultimate AI. As you can clearly see here, all Ultimate, obviously P3, Human in the McLaren, Jenson Button 7th place on Ultimate. And we legitimately had the pace there, just showing that in the McLaren car this season, with our upgrades, we've done about 6 or 7 upgrades this season. They're actually really working. That's the entire point of F1 2016 career mode. That is the entire point of R&D upgrades. Your car is meant to improve and meant to be fighting these cars as you go on through the season. And hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of the season, we could potentially try and make podium finishes a regular thing. I'm not too sure about the win. Obviously, we got quite close to Hungary, but, you know, we had some rain there to help us. But you can see in the constructors, we're closing up on Williams now, so hopefully, later on, if we can keep on making this a regular thing, double points finish from McLaren there, we can try and overhaul Williams in the constructors and finish 4th place. But an absolute fantastic race for us on Ultimate AI to get 3rd place, a podium position here at the German Grand Prix. You can see we're beating Felipe Massa quite comfortably, so hopefully next race we'll be able to kind of complete that and finish off that rivalry. And you can see we've now got over 700 points in the resource points, so now we can yet again buy a new upgrade, which is really awesome. And you know what, I think we're going to go for another drag reduction one, because we've got Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix next. We're really going to need some straight line speed there, especially, you know, up in the first sector through Rouge and the Kemmel straight, and then the back straight. So I thought I'd go for another one, and with that, you can see on the right hand side, we'll technically be ahead of Red Bull on the vehicle comparison charts. We'll have to look at and see how that goes at the start of the next episode, and see if we are in fact ahead of Red Bull Racing on the chart. But that's been an absolute fantastic episode, guys. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been Aarava. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.